I'm TarotOracle, and this is how to play the lottery with tarot cards. Now, there probably are other systems to do this, but this is mine. So if you don't already know a system, well, that's handy because here I'm presenting you one. Now, before you do this, this is entertainment purposes only. Never play the lottery or gamble based upon a random person on the internet giving you a system. So the lottery is gambling. You should not gamble. You will lose money. It'll be $2 or $3 for a single lottery ticket. If that breaks your bank, that's a whole other set of problems that you have. But entertainment purposes only. Okay. Now let's first recognize we have different maximum numbers. We have a 70 over here, 25 here, 69 over here, 26, and a 54. So if you need a number, basically you're going to draw cards and give you a number. So let's look how to do that. First off, we have majors. The Fool is a special card. We'll go over those in a minute. But before we do, let's go over the rest of the system. Number 1 is the Magician. Number 2 is High Priestess. Number 3 is the Empress. Number 4 is the Emperor, blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. So the Fool is 0, and that counts as a different special card because obviously 0 is not really going to contribute to making a number. Well, I guess you could add it to the end if you have a 1 or something. But if you have a 54 and add a 0, that's kind of useless. Anyway, so that is the majors, or those are the majors. Next are the minors. Now, the minors are going to be basically starting off with 1 to 14 wands. So the Ace of Wands is going to be a number 1. The 2 of Wands is going to be a number 2. And we go all the way to the King of Wands, which will be a number 14. So obviously then if you have a 10, if you draw a 10 and then an 11, then you'll have these numbers here, a 10 and an 11. All right. So we haven't made it to 2137, but we will. But anyway, yeah, 10 and 11. So let's say you draw the 10 of Wands, and then you draw the Page of Wands. Now you have a 10 and an 11 to play. Okay, so there are your minors. Now, you could draw the 10 and the 11 and add them up. That is up to you. That is your intuition taking place there. So we're going to go over that. So what if you have, for example, a minor and a major? What are you going to do? So this is a 35. We'll get to that in a minute. You could add 2 majors together. You could do a major single. This is sort of where you have to use your intuition and sort of wing it. But for right now, the wands are 1 to 14. So here's a 10, here's an 11. There's your numbers, a 10 and an 11 so far. All right, let's review the next sequence, which is cups. The cups are going to be the same thing, right? 15 to 28. So obviously there's going to be 54 majors total, and that is going to be your 1 to 54. Okay, so there's your minors, and so if you get a 4 of cups, it's going to be an 18 on your ticket. If you get a 10 of cups, it's going to be a 24 on your ticket, etc. Now, here we go for an example. So here we have a 10 of Wands would be a 10. 11 of Wands, Page of Wands would be an 11. And then we have a 7 of Cups. Now that'd be a 21. So there are your 3 numbers, 10, 11, 21. Okay. And now we introduce the swords. And that's going to be the same kind of system. Ace of Swords is going to be a 29. 3 of Swords is going to be a 31. Then you have the King of Swords is going to be a 42. So there you go. So just pretty basic. I mean, just a very, very basic system as it goes through here. So next you have the rest of the numbers, which is going to be 43 through 56. Then you add in your 22 majors, and you have 78 cards like magic. Okay, so an Ace of Pentacles is going to be 43. 44 is going to be a 2 of Pentacles. 3 of Pentacles is going to be 45. All the way up to a King of Pentacles, which is going to be 56. So there you have your 56 possible cards. And that's going to get you basically all your numbers for 1 through 54 over here. Now, obviously, if you pull a King of Pentacles, it's not going to fit. 54 is your maximum number, so you would just ignore the King of Pentacles and move on. You could also reverse the number if you see that you want to do that, which doesn't work in this case, but you can reverse numbers. We'll talk about that in a minute. All right, so we have 1 through 56 over here, and there are your major or your minors. Now let's go to how to combine these. Now, you can just take it as it comes up, right? Or you can start adding things together. The reason I say adding things together, I would start adding things together if you have a big lottery like this 70 over here, 69. You're just going to be hovering in the low numbers over here. If you want to add, and you're intuitively, you're like, I want to add something, because sometimes you just feel like adding something to the pot. So here we have a 35 with this over here, right? We have a 35, we have a 7 of swords. 7 of swords again, if you look over here, 7 of swords is going to be a 35. So we have a 35. Now I'm going to keep that number because the next one I drew is a 31. If I add 35 to 31, I could get a 66 if I wanted. But in this case, I sort of intuitively know that this particular person is by themselves. And you can do that graphically or intuitively. Graphically, they're kind of walking away, right? They're separating themselves from this card. So I want this, since they're walking away, since they're separating themselves, I'll be like, I'm going to keep it as is, separate. You see that maybe with the Hermit. The Hermit would be a good, I'm keeping separate kind of card, right? So if they're separating themselves, if they're not really, and you'll see this with other cards too. Maybe a 5 of Pentacles. You'd be like, 5 Pentacles, yeah, they're separating themselves. They need to be alone, some alone time. And again, you'll see this with quite a variety of cards as well. Maybe a 5 of Swords, where everybody's sort of separating. But basically, either graphically or intuitively, you're like, I know this is the alone card, and I'm going to play a 35 in this particular position. Now, then I draw a 31 and a 17. I'm like, these kind of go together in my opinion, or intuitively I like them to be together. So I'm going to have a 31 plus a 17 equals a 58. Now, a 58 is obviously not going to fit over here. I got a 54, a maximum number. So for this example, I'll be using the higher number lotteries. So in that case, I would just do a 31. So my cards would be, if I have the 54 low number lottery, I'd do a 35 and then a 31. All right. So I would do a 35, 31, and then do a 17, because the 17 is the position for the star. So that would be my play. Those would be my 3 numbers. But because I have a high number lottery, in other words, I'm going to like 70 over here, because I have that, I'm going to go ahead and just combine these two and make a number 58. So multiple ways you can do it. Intuitively, graphically, maybe graphically you think, hey, 31, very isolated, 3 of Swords, very upset, and then I'm going to play 31 by itself. Again, intuitively, graphically, you choose. All right, now here we have 2 majors. We have a Chariot and a Knight, or Chariot and Knight, Chariot and Death. These two are a good combo for just sort of moving. The Chariot's moving, Death is moving. I have 2 moving cards. I'm going to combine them. I'm going to go a 7 with the Chariot. 13 of the Death is going to be 20. Okay. So obviously I have 2 movement cards. I'm going to combine those, and that's going to be 20. So my lottery numbers for this is 35, 58, and 20. And you're going to continue on doing that basically here. So let's see, I have a 31 plus a 17. If I combine those two, I have a 58. And that is too much for this card. All right. So I'm just going to isolate those. I'm going to say, okay, never mind. I'm not going to add them. I'm going to do a 31, and then I'm going to do a 17. Okay. 31 and a 17. Those are going to be my ticket cards. Because a 58 doesn't fit in this small number lottery. All right. And then I have a 31 over here, and then I'm going to do 30. So just a 31 and then a 17 by itself. So there you go. So if it doesn't fit, if it doesn't fit, then you do it separate until it does fit. Let's talk about special cards. Okay, if you get a Fool, which is 0, you want to reverse the numbers if you can, okay? So let's say I have a 9. Let's reverse it and make a 9. Just kidding. So if I have a 23, okay, if I have a 23 with a 9 of Cups, then I get a Fool, the next card. That's going to tell me to reverse this one and make it a 32. So reverse the previous card if you get a Fool, if you can. Otherwise, just ignore it. If you get a Four of Pentacles, hang on to your money that week. I wouldn't play. I just wouldn't play that week. I would opt out. I would just skip that week. Maybe there's an issue. Maybe there's some sort of a weird problem going on. Definitely not something that I'd be like, nah, you know, that is kind of not going to play this week. If you get a Six of Pentacles, that means that the lottery is just maybe paying up for you. And because of that, I would go ahead and generate numbers for not one ticket, but two. Okay. Now, my recommendation is to not get the extra ball. All right. I wouldn't get the extra ball. It doesn't make sense to get the extra ball, in my opinion. If you want to, that's fine. Let's say I want the extra ball, 1 to 25. Obviously, you keep drawing cards until you get something from 1 to 25. So in other words, if you're like, I need a number from 1 to 25 for the extra ball or whatever, then I drew a Five of Pentacles. Obviously, a 47 ain't going to fit in a 1 to 25 number. So I would keep drawing. Maybe my next number would be 20. Which is going to be this up here, right? My next number would be a Six of Cups, which is a 20. And so that would be, okay, cool. That's my number right here. I do a 20. So I mark my 20 in for the extra number. So again, basically you're just going to draw. You're going to intuitively or graphically say, do these belong together kind of thing? Because these two don't belong together, in my opinion. You have a Ten of Wands and you have a Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is facing away from him. They're not like a combined effort or combined force, right? So I would not combine those. Just in my opinion, again, intuitively or graphically, you decide. You decide. Don't let me make any decisions for you. Anyway, so then you would just basically fill out your ticket and go play your ticket. But again, I would not play the lottery. It's gambling, and I guarantee you'll lose money. I guarantee you'll lose money. So if you can't afford to play the lottery for your $2, $3, whatever, I would not play it at all. I would just opt out. So again, it's entertainment purposes only. Never play the gambling, basically, which this is, based upon a regular fat man on the internet, which is me, telling you to play the lottery. Okay, so yeah. But if you want to play the lottery, here's how to get numbers out of your tarot deck. Now let's discuss tarot decks. You need to very, very much resonate with your tarot deck. Don't pull out a random tarot deck. You need to pull your favorite tarot deck, because any of these will work. If you want to do an oracle deck and it's got a big numbers, maybe you have an oracle deck that has 70 cards. That would be perfect. Then you get that oracle deck and you use that. That would simplify everything. But if you want to play it with tarot, here is a system to do it. There are other systems, I guarantee, somewhere. If you hunt them down, then there are other systems. Anyway, you use what you need to use. And that is how to play the lottery with tarot cards. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for being been watching the channel, and hit all the like and subscribes and all that other stuff. And we will see you in the next video. And did you know I have a Patreon? That's right. You get a lot of stuff for it, not a lot of money. Okay, for $5, you get 20 hours of Create Your Tarot course. I teach you detailed how to draw animals, detailed how to draw digitally. I walk you through the application. I walk you through how to make it. I walk you through oil painting examples. I got pastel examples. I got colored pencil. I got everything, how to draw your own tarot cards, because it's a good income source. I'll be honest with you, that's a really good income source. And if you can draw realistic animals, you can draw your neighbor's dog, what have you, they'll pay you 60, 70, $100 for that. Behind the readings every week. If you're wondering why I said what I said, I tell you, 10% why I said what I said in my streams I tell you exactly why, what we're looking at. I go through details. 10% off everything in my store. That's worth the $5 alone. I mean, if you're going to buy something, right? You get your name in my tarot decks books. You get the name in the video credits. You also get a free Lenormand digital deck and a cloth. So you can go print it out. And that is on screen now for you to look at. As well as, if you want to dump $10 in, you get everything over here, plus a weekly live stream. You get an hour with me once a week in a live stream. You want to ask me a question? Hey, why did you say that? I want to help on this. I want help on this. I'm here for you. Live stream every week. Ask me anything you want. They're all archived off too, so you can watch previous ones. I teach you details, deep details about tarot cards, how to read, what to do, etc. If you want me to do anything, I'll do what. If you want to see a magic trick, whatever you want to see. I mean, I'm live streaming. I mean, between me and you. So ask me anything. This is private to Patreon. You also get all my digital books and audio books for $10. You get all the digital books and audio books. That's a steal. That is an easy way to go there. Now, if you want to go $20 a month, you get a monthly 20-minute private reading with me. That's $1 a minute. That's extremely reasonable. All of this is available to you right now. Go to my Patreon, link in the description, and become a supporter. It helps me make more videos. It helps me just make content that you want to see. It helps me a lot. So please, if you want to support me, I will reimburse you with a lot of stuff. I mean, it's not like you're just throwing money at me and hoping for the best. You're getting things back. So I greatly appreciate your support. And thank you for watching this video. I will see you next time.